Here we have a under cabinet light fitting. You can still get these. These aren't that old, but they've been decommissioned, and I'll explain why. We used to have the old style versions of these, which were like the filament style, like the lamp that was this long, and then like had a kind of like a torch, like a miniature bayonet cap at each end. And anyway, so getting on, the lamps kept blowing on it, and well, there's a number of things really, because the fittings were getting old, and the lamps were, well, they were creating that much heat, whatever was above it was getting warm, and it used to melt quite a lot of bits in there, like in the cupboards above it. So I said replace them with these, because then, like, because I was on a spree to convert most of the house to LED, which I have done except for 2 rooms. But apart from that, it's all went well. So these are LED versions, and they're meant to look like the old school fluorescent style that you had of these. Obviously, this is obviously LED. So you got a 8-pin, well, yeah, I'll say an 8-pin connector in there. I've actually got a lead, if I can get one. Yeah, takes a standard 8-pin connector, and it goes into there, or the other way around. And then at the other side, you got another 8-pin connector, which is recessed. If you can just make out the little prongs in there, which is recessed, to prevent you from getting a horrible belt, because I'm quite surprised that there'll be mains out of there. Only thing is, I can't really show you these things running, because I ain't got a spare plug lying around. So that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, so you can literally plug one into the other, 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 until you run out of fittings, pretty much. And it's a Sylvania LED pipe, 4 watt, and this is a warm white, and it takes 4 watts of power. It's got 26 0.135 watt LED cobs. I'm not sure what that is. There. Power factor, is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. But only draws 90 milliamps or something. Not too bad. Alright, let's take it to bits. The whole design is plastic. I'm not sure where the heat sinking will be. Let's have a look. As you can see, I sacrificed one end. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could resolder the new leads onto it. Quite frankly, no, not really much point, because I can just get rid of the potential of a short circuit and we'll be happy. Because yeah, mains does pass through from one end to the other. So let's have a look. So this fitting has gotten warm, and I'm guessing this was near the, well, on the makeshift extractor hood. So as you can see, the track is bent, and yeah, there's no really like heat sinking as such, because the actual outside of it is one plastic mould, which is cool. Let's see if I can take the thing out. Oh, this is where I break it. Right, okay, so let's start with the circuit board for lights. And I'm really quite surprised that this, like, LED strip, as it is not on a aluminum heatsink, or aluminium heatsink, should I say. It's on a PCB, and as you can see, it is bent. It is badly warped. Like, pretty bad. But it still works. And So that is very weird. So let's have a look at the. So 2014. I don't remember getting them in. Oh, you look at that. It gives it you everything. Huh. Didn't realise I did that. Oh. It's not too bad at all. So the power supply in, obviously. You got your mains in from the 8-pin connector. And then, like I did say, you got mains 240 or 230. And then obviously mains in, and then just teared off the same soldering pad straight to the other end for mains out. So yeah, I knew that would be the case. But standard stuff you'd find on a driver circuit board. This time you've got a little fuse in there, and standard capacitors, inductors, a lot. Not too bad though. It's pretty good stuff. I'll try and put this thing back together without busting it. So not too shabby. Yeah, I was really quite surprised that they give you everything. Like the voltage on this PCB, I guess, is only 38 volts. Oh, it's only 38 volts. I don't know. Be interesting. Yeah, I'm quite surprised there's no actual like heat sinking for the LEDs. Very weird, very weird. But there you are. That's what's inside one of these under cabinet lights. See if I can put the thing back together now. Oh, and unsolder that. These two leads. Because the last thing I want is plug it in and have a bang. Because having little explosions, especially mains, is not nice. Trust me, I know.